Hi and welcome to today's video. So on today's video we're going to go through 7 pointers in life which I think you guys might find useful, might find important as you go through life. These are lessons I've personally learned and I think they'll apply very well to your life, so let's dig into it. First, a diagnosis is just a label. Now if someone says, hey, you have dyslexia, which was in my case when I was younger, or if a doctor says you have this problem, that problem, it is just a label. It does not limit you in any way. Years ago I used to work with a guy and he was paralyzed from the waist down. And it was a pretty tough job I used to do. He used to do the same job. He used to fly all over the country, working on computers for the major banks. I did the same job. It was a tough job. You had to get up early in the morning, you had to get on a lot of flights, do a lot of driving, travel to a lot of different cities. He was doing it, but he was paralyzed from the waist down. And that's an inspiration. He didn't take his diagnosis as a life sentence. He just found a way around it. And that's what we all have to do. If you're faced with a problem, if you're faced with a diagnosis, just find a way around it. It's the best thing to do. And you can achieve anything when you can do that. Don't judge a person by their grades. Oh my god, I did absolutely terrible in high school. I bombed high school. Now, I'm an engineer for NASA now. It's pretty high up there. And I'm studying a PhD. It's pretty high up as well. But I got out of high school with a B, a D, and an E. That's terrible, guys. You don't want to ever aim that low. But it was the fighting spirit I had in my heart that got me those A's and got me to NASA. If it wasn't for that fighting spirit, I would never have done it. So look at the person's desire. Don't look at the person's grades, because grades are just what you have up here. What you have up here isn't that important. It's what you carry in your heart, and how much passion you have for the subject you study is the most important thing. Follow your heart and follow your passion. Another good one, keep moving forward no matter what people say. People are going to put you down. They're going to say you're stupid. They're going to say you can't achieve something. They're going to say you're dumb. They're going to say don't follow your dreams. Get a regular job. Don't start a company. You're going to fail. I've heard them all. I've heard them all over these 48 years. People are going to put you down the whole time because they don't have the same vision as you. They Only you know what you're capable of. Only you know what's in your heart. Only you know what you can achieve. If you want to become a world-class athlete, go for it. If you want to start a business, go for it. Go what's in your heart. And don't let other people, don't let all these other idiots that are out there put you down and tell you can't achieve it, because you can and you will. Just give yourself enough time. Always challenge yourself. After you climb a mountain, find a bigger mountain to climb. And I was guilty of this for probably about 10 years of my life. I stagnated. I had a good job working for a major auto company. I won't say which one, but it was a very good job working for a major auto company. I stagnated. I didn't get any more certifications. I didn't focus on my education. I didn't focus on my degree. I stopped working out. I just trying to sell this kind of cruising level. Guess what? About 6 years into that, I was laid off, and boom, because guess what? I didn't keep my skills up to date. I didn't keep learning new things, and the employer at that point had nothing else for me other than to let me go. So keep challenging yourself. And once you've done a bachelor's, go on to a master's. Once you've done a master's, go on to a PhD. Once you've done one certification, find the next certification that's going to help your career. Never stop, because as soon as you stop, you're going to get yourself in a whole boatload of trouble career-wise. Trust me. Oh, this is a good one. When you know the path is right, don't be afraid to walk it alone. The walk will make you stronger, and that's a big one, because sometimes you may do a thing which will make you unpopular with your friends, maybe even unpopular with your spouse, and you may have to make that walk alone, and it's hard. You may have to go for a year, maybe even longer, alone with nobody supporting you. But if you know it's the right thing to do, and if you're heading in the right direction, and if that is what your soul and your heart is telling you, then that is the right way for you, because we're all different. And don't let these external people kind of push you in a different direction. If you know it's the right path, if you know if it's the right thing to do, even if it's it's hard, and it's one of the hardest things to do in life, if it's the right thing to do, even if you have to walk that path alone, you walk that path alone, because it is the right thing to do. And this is a very true point. Success is often built upon years of failure that nobody even knows about. Do you know Thomas Edison, who invented the light bulb? He invented 10,000 light bulbs before he got it right. So he got it wrong 10,000 times before he brought light to the world. Another story, SpaceX was basically days away from bankruptcy when they built their first reusable rocket that actually made it into orbit. So you don't know about these failures. You only hear about the success stories. These people only talk about their success stories, but behind every success story, there is a lot of failure. You don't know about that failure, but there is a lot of failure. Just accept the failure. Accept that you will fail. It will be hard. It will be painful. But you get back up and you keep going, and that's the nature of life. And this kind of goes back to one of my other points. If you're not learning and if you're not growing, you're dying. Always be learning new things, always be growing, always be experimenting, exploring, trying new things constantly. Because if you stop doing those things, then that is the first part of the dying process. I hate to say it, but that is it. If you stop educating yourself, and if you stop learning new things, then guess what? You go in the opposite direction. That's the way it is. So always learn new things, always educate yourself, even if it's just watching YouTube videos or researching things online. At least you're feeding your mind, and that's the most important thing. You don't have to be in a college degree. You just have to be feeding your mind constantly, because as soon as you stop feeding your mind, you start losing your mind. That's a very important point. So I hope you found today's video useful. Click there and subscribe, and I will talk to you again soon. Thank you.